Hi, everybody. It's Amanda Herr from Digital Desk, your digital marketing virtual assistant agency. We take the digital marketing off of your desk so that you can get back to what you do best. I am here to answer any questions that you might have. I've had a few people reach out this week and ask me a few questions about Facebook, some questions about Facebook UTMs. They're not quite sure what that is. And I thought, well, the best way to answer that question is to go live and answer it for everybody, as well as open it up to everyone. So if you have any questions, please feel free to go ahead and comment so that I can see those questions. And I'd be happy to answer for you. So right now, I am actually going to share my screen. So bear with me. You're going to get a little bit of a wonkiness, but I'm going to share my screen and we're going to take a look at what a UTM is. So here's a UTM, and I just want to make sure that you guys can actually see this. So, but what a UTM really is it's just a way of actually looking at your Google Analytics and being able to see where things are coming from. So a lot of times you might get clicked on, you might see that people have visited a page, but you don't necessarily know where they're coming from. So when you're doing a UTM and you create a code, that way when you're looking at your Google Analytics, you can actually see where an audience has come from. So I am in one of my clients' construct team, who they're amazing, just FYI, they're an insurance restoration company, and they also do custom remodels. But I'm in here, and we just did an ad for them, and I need to know like what works in this ad and what doesn't work in this ad. And the only way I can do that is by creating this UTM. So if you've ever been in a Facebook ad, you'll see down here where you can actually put your website URL so people can click over. So if I just put their website, which is restoreitright.com, then it would say, okay, well, restoreitright.com, I don't know like where that traffic came from. It's not tagged really with anything. So Facebook, God love them, they do give you a little bit of a tag. It's called FBCLID, so FBCLID, so you can kind of see that it came from Facebook, but you don't know exactly like which ad from Facebook. So down here, it says build your URL. So instead of just putting restoreitright.com, I'm going to build my URL. Okay, so I'm going to click on build URL parameter, which actually builds the UTM. You'll see that the core URL is their website URL. And then I want to know that it came from the branding campaign ad that I did, and that it's running on Facebook, and that it was a carousel, which I spelt wrong, but it's the carousel, and I put overall because that means that if someone clicked on the learn more button, they're just going to go to their website. So it's my overall button. Okay, so then I hit apply, and then you'll see here that it creates this funky thing where it's question mark UTM source, universal tag something. I'll have to look that up for you. Source, and then branding, because it was I said branding campaign. The medium is Facebook, and it was carousel overall. All right, so I know that when I go to my Google Analytics and I see that they clicked the Learn More button. Now, if you're familiar with carousel ads at all on Facebook, you'll know that you can actually do 6 different graphics. And the cool thing about a carousel ad, there's a couple of them, but the cool thing about a carousel ad is that you can actually send people by picture to different areas of your website or to different places. And you can also have video in it. So in particular, I did this ad, and there's 6 different graphics that I used. Okay, and they're all particular to the different services. So like fire damage repair, storm damage repair, custom remodel, etc. So this first one is water damage. And so I put here water damage repair. But to go back to the website URL, I want to send them to the area where the flood damage is. So like on their website, they have an area that's specific to water damage. So I'm putting that URL here, but I don't want it to just be that, because then I wouldn't necessarily know that it came from this campaign. I would know it came from Facebook, but I wouldn't know necessarily that this came from this campaign. So again, I'm putting branding because it's my branding campaign. And you can get, I mean, you're going to have a lot of people tell you to get a lot more like specific and, you know, be a lot more formal. But this is just for myself and for my client. So I don't do formal. Anyway, so branding. And then again, it's Facebook. All right. So if it was an Instagram ad, I would put Instagram. And it was carousel, and I put water because it was the water section of my carousel. So now when someone clicks this card and the learn more button on this card, this right here is what shows up on Google Analytics. So I know that actually was driving traffic, or what happened when someone got there to my page from my ad. So I can actually track that this person went to the water section. And did they leave? Did they click on something else? You know, what did they do when they got there? But I know it came from this ad. So it's really a great way to actually look at your return on investment. So I'm going to stop sharing and come back over here. All right, so I stopped sharing and I am back. So that is a good way to look at UTMs. Now, I'm going to show you that if you're not in Facebook and you want to create a UTM so you can track something, I'm going to show you how to do it. So first of all, it means Universal Transverse Mercator. Okay, so that's what Google's telling me, and it's an acronym. And it's a plane Mercator, a plane coordinate grid system named for the map projection on which it is based. Okay. Do we care? I don't think so. So we just need to know it's what's going to tell us where stuff came from. So I'm going to come back over here and I am going to share my screen again. And I am going to show you how to, oh, that gives me a headache. I'm going to show you how to actually create a UTM. So just go to UTM, Google UTM Builder. Wow, rough, right? So I Googled Google UTM Builder, but it comes up with GA, Dev Tools, blah, 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 blah. But you can just Google UTM Builder. And here, again, you put your core URL. All right. And then your campaign source. So here I'm using, my friend Barb is running some ads for me on her website. So being the informal person I am, I just went ahead and put Barb. And then campaign medium was her website. And then down here, campaign name, Barb ads. Okay. So you would be a lot more formal if you were working in like a company or something like that. So campaign term, identify the paid keywords. So if you were doing like a paid campaign, and then you can put what the content, like you could say black background, or it was maybe about a specific product or whatever it might be. And then it actually will generate your UTM. And this is what you would use when you were giving someone a click-through URL. So not necessarily an ad. So I gave Barb this URL for click-through. So I know that if someone gets to my website, they've clicked on the ad that's on her website, it goes to my website, and in Google Analytics, I can see that that came from Barb's website. So why do we care about UTMs? UTMs are great because we want to make sure that we know where stuff is coming from and what works and what doesn't work. So it's really important to understand how to build them and where to get the UTM in order to make it work. So the cool thing is like, let's say you have a kiosk and you use a UTM there, you know that and it still goes to your website, then you still know that where that came from and that kiosk is working for you. Or like I said, my friend Barb's running some ads for me. So now I know like what's going on with those ads on Barb's website. So I know what's happening there. Do I want to up that? Do I want to lower that? On Facebook, I can see which sections are working on that carousel ad. Do I want to put more money against that? Do I want to take out the sections that aren't working? It's really kind of giving me the information that I need. And for my clients too, as a virtual assistant, which is I'm loving doing, I can actually look at my client's stuff and eyeball it and see, do I need to make some changes? And then I can help them actually grow their sales and grow their audience just by, seeing the overall picture. Okay, we've got some different kind of people on here. So I am going to I don't know how to get him off the website here, but whatever. So anyway, we take a look at the UTM. We can see where things are going and where they're from, and then we can actually do some reporting back. Next, we want to talk a little bit more about how to actually put the UTM on things. Like I said, a UTM on a Facebook ad does a great job. A UTM on any ad does a great job, but you can also use a UTM when you just want to see how a post is working. So different areas. So if anywhere that you can put a URL, you can use a UTM and you'll be able to see what that overall response rate was. So I hope this was helpful, and the Ask Amanda is something that I'm going to be doing every now and again for people, and to answer the questions, because if I get a lot of questions about a certain something, I'm going to make sure that I answer it for everybody because it's a lot easier to do. And that's about it for today. So have a great Friday. Make sure to reach out to me if you need any virtual assistant work or any digital marketing support. That's what I am here for and my team, and we are happy to do so. To learn more about Digital Desk, you can actually go to hiredigitaldesk.com, and you can see every type of service, digital marketing service that we actually provide, which it's very extensive, and then also how to hire us with our debit card system. The debit card system is where you actually buy some hours, and you can buy them in 5-hour slots or 10-hour slots, and they're good for a year. And then we actually will execute the digital marketing that you need to take that off your desk so that you can get back to what you do best. So again, and join my group, by the way. There's something that I think a lot of people don't really realize. I actually have a group. If you click on the group next to the groups area on my Facebook page, there's actually a free group you can be a part of. And there's a lot of people in there that we nerd out about digital marketing all the time. So have a great Friday and have a great weekend. Thanks, guys.